Why is there something, not nothing at all? Not silence or void, but stars on a sprawl? Existence, it seems, took offense at the blank, and rolled out a cosmos, both lavish and rank. Yet absence remains, the original rub, the outline of all that reality snubs. What could be still dances just out of sight, where possibility grins in the arms of the night? Could this all be illusion with code for a spine? A trick of perception in digital wine? If all that we sense could be skillfully faked, would we know if the world had been flawlessly baked? Our senses adjudicate truth on their throne, yet they're fooled by the stagecraft we've crafted alone. If perception's the judge and the liar as well, then simulation and real both ring the same bell. Is the world how it is, or just how it appears? Do we see with clear eyes or lenses of fears? Perhaps there's a truth with a spine made of steel, but it's filtered through thoughts that refuse to stay real. For our minds shape the world in interpretive glaze, while reality shrugs in objective malaise. Still, truth sits between us like weathered old glue, unseen but demanded in all that we do. What makes the self rise like a tide in the brain? What conjures the watcher from circuits and strain? The neurons may pulse with electric ballet, but they don't explain why I think I may. Consciousness blooms from the tangled within, but whence its first root? From atoms or sin? We chase its first moment through matter and mist. An echo, a flicker that insists it exists. If memories vanish, then who holds your name? If the past is erased, do you stay just the same? We stitch up ourself from the stories we store, but tear up the tales and what's left at the core. Yet still, some faint tether persists through the haze, a thread through the chaos of identity's maze. Continuity hums in a register deep, saying you is a rhythm that memory keeps. Can a choice be our own if the cosmos is wired? If cause built the script and the role was pre-hired? Free will, we declare, must have room to rebel, but the universe rolls like a fate-sealing bell. Still agency pulses, a tremor of might, to bend what's determined and alter the night. We live in the tension of puppet and king, with choices that echo, then snap on a string. Does life come preloaded with purpose inside, or do we invent it to soften the ride? Is there something eternal that beckons and burns, or just empty pages we fill by our turns? Perhaps it's both compass and coloring pen, a map drawn in bones, then revised now and then, for purpose may live where our projects collide, a meaning we summon, or one we confide. If all turns to ash at the end of the scene, then why should our choices mean anything keen? If death is the landlord and time just a lease, does action still matter in pieces or peace? Yet mortality sharpens the blade of the day, demanding we carve in a meaningful way. Significance rises where endings appear, a flare in the dusk that outshines the fear. Can meaning survive when the cosmos goes cold? When the stars dim to silence and stories grow old? If heat death awaits at the far-flung retreat, does meaning collapse in the vacuum of heat? Yet entropy frames our defiant reply. We build in the margins, we sing as we die. Transience gives what eternity lacks, the urgency carved in each step on the tracks. If morals are claimed to be rooted and wide, do they bloom in all soils or shift with the tide? Perhaps there's a law that all cultures must heed, or just tribes with their ethics wrapped around their need. One says, "This is right," as if God wrote it down. Another says, "Here we elect what is sound." But still there's a whisper, a norm that won't bend, that not all the customs of mortals transcend. Would we rid the world of all sorrow and strife, if pain steals the music and meaning from life? Or does suffering forge the sharp edge of grace, and teach us the shape of a human face? We seek fulfillment that isn't just ease, but wisdom distilled from life's slow disease. And yet if we could without anguish attain, would joy lose its taste in the absence of pain? Are we bound to the unborn, the ones not yet here? Those ghost future children who breathe in our fear? Does responsibility stretch past today, or stop where the grave's cold shadow may lay? The present holds power with reckless delight, but future eyes watch from the depths of the night. They speak through our choices, silent and far. Like stars we ignite, though we won't see them star. Does time really pass, or is change just a play? A slideshow of nows with no river, no sway. We feel flow as real, like wind on the skin, but science just chuckles and files it within. The arrow may fly, but each instant stands still, a freeze-frame illusion that mimics free will, and illusion itself must borrow its grace from something we swear is still keeping a pace. Do past, present, and future all equally be, or is now the lone raft on an unstill sea? The past leaves its fossils in thought and in bone, but only the present can call things its own. Yet the future leans in with its gravity pull, shaping each choice, making moments feel full. Perhaps they all sit at the same quiet feast, and we, time's illusion, are merely the yeast. If the cosmos expands without end or constraint, does it echo our face in a far stranger paint? Are there versions of us sipping alien tea, with the same bad ideas and affinity fee? In infinity's wardrobe, all costumes are worn, and identity's mask may be many times born. Replication then mocks our dear sense of I. When your twin makes worse jokes in another sky, will tech be the tool that unlocks our cage, or the algorithmic hand that writes rage? It lifts and it limits both jailer and key, depending on who programs what it should be. Liberation may rise with circuits and code, but enslavement is dressed in convenience mode. If power collects where the servers do hum, then freedom must hack where the shadows come from. Are we climbing toward minds of celestial kind, or stalled in the glitch of the human design? Evolution gave thumbs and gave Twitter and fire, but is that ascent or a lateral mire? Higher consciousness calls from the edge of our dreams, but stagnation replies through bureaucratic memes. Progress depends on the stories we feed. Whether TikTok or Dharma defines what we need. Can a perfect justice be built from our clay, or is flaw the rent that all humans must pay? We dream of a balance that won't tip or crack, but each law we carve has a bias in back. Society tries with its rules and ideals, while perfection taunts with utopian deals. And though justice may never be perfectly born, it still keeps the tyrants and cynics forsworn.